Level 1 Crow can trust me as well, like always. So Navi getting
investment in the form of the Feast of the Abyss takes out the level 1 Crook, and Fate has fallen too.
Forever's got the Meteor Am as well to use the CC immunity against the Eye of Agamotto coming on through from Navi's side. And Insomnia are still able to retain that point. The Karmic Revival getting to catch as well with the Soul Resurgence on the objective, so they didn't even need to give it up. As Navi are changing things around. Fate moves over to the Loki for the damage boost alongside that Mantis, plus having the regeneration domain to survive the one-shot capabilities of the Mag Ultimate in this next fight.
That Meteor Ram's going to be the one to watch, potentially. The constant Insomnia.
Insomnia were looking to the Galactic Legend to open up the space for them to walk after that Karmic Revival, and Navi understood that they won't be able to hit the Star-Lord, but they can hit the entire rest of the team. And Insomnia go down in one fell swoop. Navi still holding on to that space, going to be able to figure out that Insomnia are rotating back up to that high ground, which means more spam pressure for Naga on that Phoenix. He's getting so many stuns onto these players.
Up close and personal with the Blaster Barrage. That forces out the bubble from the Magneto to try and survive it, but now it's time for Navi to clap on back. They roll forward into the Soul Bond, already having been used, but the Resurgence is coming through as well. As a quick damage boost onto themselves here from Line Pro. Easy spores generated off the back of those Loki clones, by the way. Each headshot gives yet another to try and work with for the Mantis. Naga wraps around the back. Sky and Pro are down, but now it's down to Twitzy to try and turn this one around once more, and knocks us through body and soul, racked by dark magic. Line Pro descends to the ground and is put 6 feet more so under.
Yeah, and it's all finished so quickly that Noxa doesn't get the opportunity to build up that Karmic, which means that when he goes down, he's not going to use the self-cocoon, and Navi don't have to fight their way through all of that sustain from Insomnia's side. Res fight into Lunar Ultimate. They now control all of that spacing, which means that they can tax the approach before the fight even moves on to the objective.
Forward, behind, trust me, and a terrible twosome tears through Insomnia.
Oh my goodness, that Eye of Agamotto just entirely shut down any of the reses coming on through from Nocta's side. Now we're going to see a comp swap come through too. Forever's onto the Groot to try and find these isolations, given the fact that Navi are playing incredibly aggressively forward. It's also going to put more pressure onto Fate's LOS on that Loki. As Twitzy moves over to the Torch to try and use the spam pressure of pushing Navi back, so Insomnia can at least walk up a little bit more for free.
Darkchild, unleashed by Jerky, in towards the back. Oh, the freeze is beautiful for relaxing Sky. Why don't you chill out, Darkchild? Starting to turn down the temperature a touch inside of the regeneration domain. So a safety here for Navi even.
Opportunity to go for those Venom, and Insomnia have to drop and give space.
I mean, this makes a lot of sense. You think that Insomnia are playing to be weak against the amount of fast damage coming through. That's why they banned both the Venom and the Captain America. So why not just skip the dishes and go straight to the main course by TPing on top of them? And Insomnia seem to have been caught with their pants down here by this dive. They've disengaged back towards the attacker spawn and still accruing point percentage here as Nocta prepares for TP.
So the problem for Insomnia was they lost Emma first, which meant that there was nothing stopping Navi from just rushing upon them with one-sided soul bind, as Jerky just manages to find all of the follow-up onto any grab that Rajaro has been able to grab with that Carbon Crush, and Navi, record timing, have been able to pick up first objective, already moving into second. And because it was so one-sided, Insomnia have to make sure that they don't lose Nocta to win. But Fate is going to try and track down Line Pro and grab him out of Eternal Bond with the It's Jeff afterwards.
Terror Cape, Feast of the Abyss, and the end song is enough to break through level 1 Crook. Fate's still waiting, I believe, to bring out the ultimate. Gets taken down, resurrected straight away. Naga disengaging away, but still mind-controlled by the Sonic Seduction that's channeled by the Emma. Rajaro gets a couple in their own right here as well. 2 players dragged on him. Trust me, looking for an opening here with the Eye of Agamotto, looking towards the back line. 2 squishies taken on down. Twitzy and Line Pro can't stand up to the Dark Maelstrom as it courses through their veins, and dark magic corrupts flesh and blood alike.
That was damage and picks for
heads up to make sure they can burst through that 400 HP summon in record time. Jeff good to go, looking towards the back inside of the fog. They think that they're safe from the shark. They could not be more wrong. It's just going to be Twitzy dragged inside of the maw of the shark itself. A quick grab comes through onto level 1 Crook, but the healing's more than enough, and Forever is punished for such an audacious maneuver onto the Queen Luna herself.
Cherokee going to have Karmic Revival too. Navi are just going to continue looking to put pressure onto Insomnia, control these angles, put pressure onto Nocta as well. And that is, again, not letting up any. Out comes Galactic Legend, forcing Parcelo to back away, which means that the Venom's not going to be able to find the slam onto the objective and stall Navi's approach. And we go into final fight. The Adam is getting pressured, but he's getting peeled with the Eye of Agamotto.
Okay, good Carbon Crush there to try and shut down. Trust me, should be a quick resurrection though if they do fall over. Seems the healing's going to be enough for Terror Cape too far out. And what's more coordinated than Trust Me's Navi?
Yeah, and the thing is you can also force the Diamond Form from the EMEA earlier off of just the threat of the Assassin's Lunge coming on through from Trust Me. If the EMEA gets displaced into Navi's team, Forever goes down, which means that Diamond Form gets forced and Rajara gets advantage in the EMEA 1v1.
Okay, Rage of Ultron forces out the Soul Bond here, sharing out the damage as Forever's nowhere near the Eternal Bond. Isolated by Rajaro in midair. They're trying to chase down the Galactic Legend. Twitzy finally turns the element guns in the right direction. One swallow gained out here by the Jeff. Might be off the side. No, Naga has decided that Line Pro goes down to the Galactic Legend. Parcelo noted on the other side. Insomnia still haven't been able to grab their first tick here, despite the massive investment given on over. The tracking's good, but the sacrifice is real as Twitzy takes out Naga for the audacity of such a push.
The problem for Insomnia is going to be this next fight, because Navi have Karmic Revival, and Insomnia, other than Feast of the Abyss, don't have an ultimate to be able to force it early, which means that Navi are going to be able to hold on to ultimate advantage after Karmic is finished. We're going to have...
The players are dragged on into this position. It means they're going to have a lot more trouble dealing with the res.
Unfortunately for Insomnia, they had Rage of Ultron, but they all get zoned out of being able to walk off of the Angela's ultimate. So now Jerky got Karmic Revival off and stabilized the team without anyone being able to punish him. They've got Soulbite to be able to survive and go head-to-head with the sustain coming on through from Eternal Bond, and Line Pro's already been forced into burning the Dark Teleportation, which means that they can come on through.
Galactic Legends at the same time. There's plenty of healing here for Naga, even while mind controlled. Oh, Fate got two! The sacrifice has been made and it's been well rewarded. The cost of flesh and blood as an Eldritch God will feast upon the sacrifices made. Navi lift aloft Insomnia to the sky, and they are rewarded for such Eldritch macabre horrors. Insomnia slain on first.
Line Pro had to immediately use Dark Teleportation after Eternal Bond dashes had finished because they were going so low, which meant that they didn't have the iframe to... When it comes to any...
Not gladly received here by Insomnia. Line Pro sent out the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier, but don't know if that one's going to be entirely too valuable. Relaxing Sky, the last have fallen. Line Pro's actually a hostage in the back right now. This is, did win the 1v1. You show them, Line Pro. You show them.
Unfortunately for Insomnia, though, they're off of the composition that they wanted to be able to stall because they didn't manage to stall long enough for the ult cycle. We didn't get the Loki, we didn't get the Adam having their ultimates online in time. And over to the Psylocke we go. And just immediately gets picked by the counter. Crisis is on the Storm, but finds the pick onto Twitzy, which means that the Storm is entirely uncontested currently.
Yeah, instantly matching them, Psylocke versus Psylocke, so Twitzy is going to find these angles a little bit harder to control, given that there might well be a damage boost on the opposing Psylocke that they thought they got rid of with these mantis.
He's going to have it swapped over to the Winter Soldier. He's seen that Line Pro is on the Loki. He knows he's going to be able to get resets off of the Doppelgangers. Insomnia do have dive potential. They've got both the Venom, the Star-Lord, and that Psylocke, but they don't have a mag. They don't have a Luna, and they don't have an Invis to be able to stagger the shield, which means that their dive is going to be very vulnerable when it comes to the brawl. And that's immediately going to be Jerky getting the better of Twitzy.
Dropping down into the Eternal Bond, sustained through the damage. It was offered out by the Galactic Legend. Forever finds himself caught out right here and diving into the midst of the enemy again and again. Crisis's roar echoes throughout the hallowed halls of Asgard as the Yggdrasil path is walked readily by the Winter Soldier, and Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder find their goal of completing B.
Does Line Pro survive? He lived long enough with Divas Exchange to get another regen domain, but unfortunately, I think he just staggered himself now.
For Seraphim to try and block off multiple players. That's 4 minds controlled here by Forever. However, inside of the invisible boundary, the healing's good. Note has been fallen down. Ensong and Fender can't even hit the ground as Fate has already been well prepared for this one. That's a quick use of a Terror Cape to make sure the Loki's run scared and roughshod elsewhere. Forever overwhelmed. Jerky, yes, oh, this is quite ambitious. Into the spawn, Rajaro knew the tendrils of the Eye of Agamotto would just burrow into Insomnia. A quick copy coming through from Line Premiers, but there's an Eternal Bomb to try and sustain through all of this. And up above it all, inside of a Dagger Storm, Nocta can't get there in time to keep this one contested. Has to make a mad dash for a health pack instead. Forever's turned up on the Wolverine, trying to shut down this group. If they go out too far, can't quite connect when it comes to the damage. But the damage is just pouring from Navi. Born to win once again, and born...
Silver linings, and potentially some tin ones too, as Forever's been able to find the pickup onto Jerky.
Oh, nice mid. I think that was a Mag Cannon coming through from Rajaro to peel that one out. Any displacement onto the Wolverine will interrupt the Feral Leap, so great right click.
Wait, there's no storm. Insomnia don't have the storm for the damage boost. Nocta's on the Moon Knight, but he's not really gaining all that much ultimate charge the way that you would expect to see. He's only 72. Navi still managed to sustain the amount of healing coming on through from triple strategist, as well as that Guardian Shield AoE that level 1 Crook was able to put in front of the team, was absolutely insane.
Unreal. Trust me, ready to go with a clobbering time. Question is, have Insomnia check their watches here. A Cosmic Yarn Amplifier could mean a lot of damage coming through from an Insong Inferno as Passo isolated here. I don't know if he's even going to be able to escape. He's going to have to go deeper. Nocta on the Black Panther, of all things. Here comes the Insong Inferno. Piloted down. However, the right click from a Cloak and Dagger deals with it readily. One player grabbed inside of the Strangling Prison. I think it was just Relaxing Sky. Lime Pro brings out the Cosmic Yarn.
Ultimate.
Twitzy just taxing the approach here of level 1 Crook. An opening coming through from the side of Forever. They've already got, trust me, he can't pop the E1, mind controlled, and that means one less Venom to play with. Rajaro takes to the skies. Audible screams of Nocta as the Black Panther is crushed underneath the spicy meatballs of Magneto. A quick resurrection courtesy of the BRB, and the cat's back in the bag, dragging in multiple players here with the Strangling Prison, but the healing's already been released from Relaxing Sky, who used the Eternal Bond.
Ooh, Navi, I was gonna say, there's no way they're gonna be able to make that Strange portal in time. Crisis has to go off of that Doctor Strange over towards the Phoenix. Trust me, he's gonna actually go over to the Captain America too, because we're gonna see a full comp swap. So trust me, wanted to maybe go for that Cap with a Psylocke and go for a dive to put pressure onto the backline of Insomnia. Open opportunity, given the fact that Nocta as well has moved over to the Punisher to be able to melt through these group walls. What they need, though, is a strategist ultimate, because we've got Strangling Prison and Kraken Impact coming up, and Insomnia so far have nothing to deal with it.
Nocta hanging out around the edge, ready to lay on into players with the assault rifle. Trust me, doesn't seem aware just yet. A quick jump up into the sky. Great angles here for the Emma Frost, but it seems like the Guardian Shield was more than enough. They escape with their minds. The pretty lady, they're immune to the charms. And it seems like it's going to be a big focus in here onto Forever. Just getting a quick reset towards the back. There was an attempt at some marauding on that back line, but Forever's not rewarded for it.
Yeah, so Insomnia tried to go aggressive with the rocket pack so that Emma could get to that back line, and Nocta would be able to put pressure onto both the Invis and the Cloak and Dagger, allowing Insomnia to walk up forward, because Crisis on the Winter Soldier would have to peel for his backline rather than looking for the Strangling Prison combo.
Could leave behind. 11 seconds remain on the clock here for Insomnia, but they don't have the manpower, they don't have the health.
Also, at least is able to get out, which means that he might be able to come back through and tap the objective, but no! Rajaro picks him mid-swing, and Navi sweep 3-0 the series. Oh my goodness. The problem for Insomnia, especially in the second to last fight where they had that Eternal Bond, and like everyone's trying to play off of the back of it, Eternal Bond used to scupper in...
And they'd get themselves on the board with a big 2-0